Welcome everybody to this short video on the training investment analytics with open source software R and RStudio. In this short video, we're going to talk about what you'll be learning during this 5-day course. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about performance analytics, portfolio analytics, we're going to talk about backtesting, we're going to look into dashboards, risk dashboards, market reports, and we're going to look into web applications. And we're going to show you exactly what you'll be learning during this 5-day course. So let's start right away. Here we can see a graphic of the S&P 500, basically from 1990 to 2014. These are the daily returns over the last 25 years. It's quite an impressive graphic. And if you have to make this in Excel, definitely a daunting task. So to the top, far left, you'll see 1990 and the distribution of the daily returns. At the bottom right, you see 2014, the distribution of the daily returns. You'll also be able to find 2008. And you can see that this distribution has fat tails. 10% for a given day, and we also have minus 9%. Now you go like, wow, quite impressive. How do you build this in R? This is it. It's roughly 6 lines of code. That's it. So the first gray block, we load in the libraries that are required. The second block, we download the data. In the third block, we do data manipulation. In the fourth block, we actually create the plot. That's it. So we're leveraging off everything that's been built by a community. A community that's been around for almost 20 to 25 years. R originated in New Zealand and was built by 2 professors. They were looking for something that was for free for the students. Since then, it has grown exponentially, especially over the last 4 to 5 years. R has been incorporated by many financial institutions. So R and Python are both languages that are open source and that are basically being used for data analytics and machine learning. It is also connected to big data. By now, many people are learning these languages. As predictive analytics, AI is becoming increasingly popular, people understand that they have to learn these languages. So, R being that powerful, what else can we do with it? We'll be basically pricing all these ratios. And we're going to do this not over 10 stocks, not over 20 stocks. We'll do this over 500 stocks. We'll show you how easy it is to do, how quick we can do this. Create these graphics. These are funds that are backtested against their benchmark and shows which are outperforming. We'll be building the efficient frontier. This is the efficient frontier on 10 to 15 ETFs. Now most people can build this on 2 or 3. But doing that on 15 with all the boundary conditions, that's quite tough. This is the code in R. Now we can definitely write this more efficient, but I just want to show you how this is done. So the first block is the libraries, the second block downloading the data, third block doing a bit of data manipulation, the fourth block we do the efficient frontier settings, and then we plot it. Now we can also pull the data from Bloomberg, Thomson Reuters, FactSet. We can basically pull it from any open data source too. R has become very powerful. We can work with data from the World Bank. We can pull it from Google Finance. We can incorporate it basically from a SQL database. R can connect to most different data formats. We're going to do backtesting the efficient frontier. That's shown here. This is the portfolio that's rebalanced every month and is then shown against the benchmark. But obviously we want to learn which boundary conditions or which portfolios show us the lowest volatility or the lowest drawdown. Now these are 6, but can you imagine doing this maybe over 10,000 times? So that's what we also will cover in the training. Everything that I show you now will be covered in the training. So, let's show you the presentation. And I'll show you at the start how this exactly works. So, this is the introduction. This presentation has been completely made with RR Studio. Quite neat, but it's two-dimensional. As you can see, we're going down. So, in this presentation, what I did is we're analyzing a Monte Carlo engine, an ESG engine, used with life insurance companies. It simulates 10,000 paths for 7 asset classes over 360 timestamps. We can incorporate interactive tables. These are all the data visualizations. They're box plots. We can look at the returns at a 12-month time period. We can look at the returns at 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. The distributions of their annualized returns for different asset classes. So all what we're doing here is analyzing the Monte Carlo engine, getting a much better understanding. Obviously, we'll be quite keen also to understand the correlations. Here we show the correlations, the scatter plots between US equity and international equity. Here we price it between all the asset classes for every path. Now, in this graph, we show you basically 6 paths. So to the top left, path number 1, and the correlation, calculated for the 7 asset classes. But we have to do this for 10,000 paths. Can you imagine calculating the correlation matrix for 7 asset classes for 10,000 different paths? Do that in Excel. That would take a lot of work. Do you know how much code this is in R? It's 1 line of code. That's it. Now, to you, this will only look like letters and numbers, but we will walk you through exactly this during the training. We will train you to learn all the different functions and how to properly write code so that you can do this analysis. In this presentation, basically, we rebalanced different types of portfolios. And we used the efficient frontier. We ran the efficient frontier over different paths. We backtested the results. And these are the results. So we will show you how to do this. It's quite impressive. Now, obviously, we're not only doing a lot of backtesting on the efficient frontier, we're working maybe with a Black-Litman model. We potentially also want to look at market risk in general. So we might be interested in creating dashboards. So that will be part of the training. We'll look at data visualization. We'll basically teach you the proper way of visualizing data. So, how do these dashboards look like? This is an example of a dashboard. This shows the FX rates. The dashboard is interactive. So this is a very standard dashboard that can be made with a package in R, and it's very straightforward. But we can do more sophisticated. We can create dashboards like this. This is the S&P 500. Obviously the open, high, low, and close, volume, the number of stocks that went down, the number of stocks that went up, and the distribution of the different sectors. Again, a different way of showing the distributions. And this is a scatter plot of all the different stocks in the S&P 500. Now there's far more we can do with this, but it shows you the power of using open source software like R. At the same time, we can create interactive web apps. It's interactive in the sense that we understand how the data is put together, but we also look at the efficient frontier here. But we can change our boundary conditions, and it will recalculate automatically and show you the new tangency portfolio. We can add different ETFs to the portfolio and see how it gets then rebalanced again, what now the weights are. So this is done with an application called Shiny. This is all part of R in R Studio. We can create these reports, and they're all interactive. This can be sitting on your desk in the morning. A batch file will start your computer in the morning, download all the data from the database or from the web, do the analytics that you've all written in your code, and then generate this report. You walk in with a cup of coffee, and it's there waiting for you. You can send this to your colleagues, send this to senior management. Now obviously data integrity is very important, so we do have to look at this. Okay, so this covers very quickly what we'll be teaching you in the 5 days. Obviously we'll be doing more. We'll also be looking towards machine learning, linear regression, logistic regression, doing predictive analytics. It's a fair bit. It's a great opportunity for those, 1, to learn more about investment analytics, 2, to learn a programming language, and 3, to really understand data visualization. By now we've trained a fair bit of individuals, being asset managers, actuaries, bank employees, and basically we've shown them exactly how R can work, how they can leverage off this, and how they can really save them a lot of money and time. The course is really optimized. Given the fact that we've done so many trainings, we've really learned how it is the best way to teach people. We found ways to really show them how it is easy to learn a programming language like this. You'll never regret it. It is the step towards the future. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, do please send us an email. If you'd like to see any other topics, very interested to hear about that. Please do let us know if there are any other areas that you'd like to see covered in a video. Thank you very much for your time and watching this video, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the course.